Hi, I'm Sarah.
And I'm David. Let's talk about the Destination X Season 1 finale.
Finale! We made it through!
We did! This is a good finale, sorry.
Honestly. But first, if you're new to this channel, please click subscribe and give this video a thumbs up.
And support us on Patreon at patreon.com/nerdtainment.
I loved this finale.
It was, honestly, exceeded my expectations. They did find a way to end up in London.
Was that one of them that we discussed?
We did. We were like, how could they not go to London? But there's a channel. And I think we thought, well, put them on a channel. And it's like, well, then they're going to know they're on a channel.
That's right.
But clearly they knew they were somewhere because they start in a helicopter, goggles on.
Yeah, I was like, how far did they bus?
Exactly.
Did they take a plane from where were they last? Venice? No. Where were they last? Monaco?
Oh, clear down on the other side of Europe.
Yeah.
No. There was a lot of transportation happening with no goggles.
Yeah.
Methinks.
Methinks as well.
But they just open right up, goggles on, and then broop, and then they're, marveling at London in front of them. I gotta say,
I love it too.
I would love to do a helicopter ride over London.
Oh.
That's kind of the one heights thing that I don't get. I did a helicopter ride over San Diego, which doesn't sound that special, but it really is.
It is.
Being 300 to 500 feet above is such an incredible vantage point.
It is.
Way better than seeing a city from a plane. You can't see anything, but you can really see stuff from a helicopter.
We did one of LA.
Oh,
and it did a whole loop out to the ocean, over the ocean, and back downtown, which you can't drive that. That is so far, so much traffic.
Oh, yeah.
And looping over the Hollywood sign. Yeah, I thought it was
stunning.
Amazing.
Yeah, so that would be such a special experience for them to see a city like London from that vantage point. So that was really cool to start on. And
of course, I was like, we're in London. I was like, I'm going to know everything that they say.
I'm very interested to hear what you predicted along the way. But we are going to start in the Painted Hall in Greenwich, where the world learned to keep time.
I did not know about this place.
Really?
No, I've never seen the
Painted
Royal
Hall.
Naval Chapel College, whatever the heck
I also feel like maybe, not to be whatever, but Greenwich being the place where the world learned to keep time is maybe a little Western-centric history, They probably learned how to keep time in ancient China, I would think. But Greenwich time is the standard now for the world.
Greenwich Mean Time is the standard, and I think that time is a theme that they want
TikTok.
They want to be able to say that they've done a couple things about time.
All along. Yeah. So they've got portraits in this Painted Hall of all of the eliminated contestants. It's very sort of like Girl with a Pearl Earring vibe, these portraits.
Oh my God, I hope they get to keep those portraits.
I know, I would want that in my home.
Looked great. Some of them were like, who is that?
I hope Shane got Allie's and Allie got Shane's.
No.
And then Shane's portrait is hanging in Allie and Mac's new home together.
When I saw the paintings, I was like, ooh, yeah, a memory challenge. But that's not exactly how it worked out.
No, it's more of a general knowledge of Europe and
but the
European
places
culture
had been specifically.
Yeah, the questions are themed around the locations they went to, but knowing where Romeo and Juliet is set is not something you would necessarily study for.
That's fair, and they did not go to Verona.
No.
Although I knew it was Verona. Did you know it was Verona?
I said Venice. I knew it was a V. Yeah, but I didn't get Verona. Rick was the only one who got that.
Yes. So, oil paintings. JDM's going to come in. Going to play a game.
They each get their little chalkboard.
They got, and they're going to write down these answers. And like you're saying, they're just basic trivia, Jeopardy-style questions about Europe, slightly connected.
I had a hard time initially tracking, how it seems arbitrary how many spaces they're moving forward and backward, and indeed it sort of was. It was just he drew a card and he was like, this one's worth 3 moves. And so if you get it right, you can either move yourself forward, but you can only go as close as you can go to Jeffrey Dean Morgan, or you can move someone else backward, but you can only go to the last portrait. So they're the board is limited in terms of the movement.
Yes, and we are going to see that play out a couple times where it's all right, you're so far ahead, you're not going anywhere. You're so far back, you're not going anywhere. And there's no one else who can move except one person, and so they will move. So it did get interesting.
It got interesting as soon as it was crystal clear that Rick and Peter versus Biggie was the situation.
Yeah.
And Biggie was none too pleased because he rode with Rick all along.
All along. You'd think Rick's name was Shane, the way that Biggie was talking throughout this.
As if Rick was his number one.
I was like, okay, it's one thing to not realize that Rick and Peter are working together, but it's another thing to think you are the next person that he works with.
I mean, Biggie, I think, drank the Kool-Aid of he was the best positioned socially in the game, and in this group of three, he just wasn't. Rick and Peter chose each other. So they kept moving him back. And I thought he actually he figured out the right strategy for him pretty quickly where he's like, I shouldn't try to move myself up because they're just going to move me back again. So I'm just going to get backed up until the very end so they can't move me anymore. And then I'm going to focus on nobody touched Rick.
Yeah.
It was just Peter and Biggie moving on the board.
Rick never once moved. Now, granted, he got most of the questions right. I think he only missed one.
Yeah.
But he does not move at all. And yeah, I think that Biggie nailed the strategy here because they're going to just push you back. I was shocked at, we're not even pretending to move Peter back.
No.
We are just going to move Biggie back and back.
Well, and then
I couldn't believe it.
Yeah. I mean, it got to the point where Rick dumbly got a question right when he couldn't move himself or Biggie, and then he was forced to move Peter back.
Yeah.
And Peter's like, Rick, what are you thinking, buddy? It was like the Vatican City one or whatever, which I actually thought was quite an easy question. And
you knew the Sistine Chapel was in Vatican City?
Yeah, because I've been there.
I was like Italy. But apparently that's not right. It's
Vatican City is its own country. Yeah, right.
I had that one wrong.
Yeah.
Okay, but somewhere in here, JDM's gonna be like,
oh, he calls it out.
Well, what's up here, guys?
He's like, so I'm noticing a trend.
There's one person way back there.
Second time he's blown Rick up, right? Remember when he was like, Rick, what was your clue in the box? And Rick was like, well, I can't say white pine cones. And now he's doing it again. Rick. Why are you only moving Biggie? What's going on? Are you scared of Biggie or do you have an alliance with Peter? And really, I think it's both. But Rick takes the moment to reveal that there's an alliance.
He did. He was like, let me just tell you what's up. There is an alliance. And the way Biggie went, his whole body twitch.
Well, I'll be dadgum. That was Biggie.
A little bit. He was like, what? Did not see that coming.
Yeah.
So yeah, we are going to eventually get to the point where last question, but again, we don't know.
We don't know. JDM says nobody knows except for the producers how many questions there are because we're going to ask questions until the clock strikes. When
the producer
it's all perfectly vague.
Moves that timer to go off, that is when this round is going to end. So Biggie gets a question. I believe it was the Vatican City one, and he can't. He could move himself up. But he's worried about moving himself up and then moving back.
And then there being more questions.
Yes. So he decides to move Peter back.
And let's make a point of pointing out that Peter was 2 spaces from the back.
Yes.
And it was worth 3 spaces moved. So if Biggie had chosen to move up, he would have been 1 ahead of Peter.
Yes. And had the producers stuck with that being the last question, again,
I don't think they would have.
There are puppet masters with a string here. Yeah. So he pulls Peter back, so they are even. Producers say, great, let's go to a tie. But let's say Biggie
had
moves
moved forward, I think there might have been another question.
There might have been. I mean, let's be honest. These shows are produced.
So I think I agree with you that they said, "Oh wow, look at the opportunity we have here." Yeah. Rick is all the way at the front, and Biggie and Peter are all the way at the back. A tie is a perfect moment of tension in a finale. Let's lean in. Let's stop it here. Surprise, no more questions. I do think there would have been more questions if Biggie had moved forward, but here we are.
Here we are.
So now it's tiebreaker question, very sort of Big Brother style.
Yeah, right.
Guess the number of islands
closest to
that
the right
Venice
number.
is made up of. I said 470. So I would have lost.
Oh my God, I said 100. So
well,
I would have
ding dong.
Yeah.
You would have won.
But I was completely guessing.
Yeah.
Obviously, I could not remember how many islands there were.
Well, when Biggie said 210, I was like, oh, I might be really off. And then when Peter said 27, I thought Biggie's got it.
Yes. Same. Biggie says 210, and I was like, I feel like that's it.
Yeah.
It's ish, right?
Ish.
And then when you see Peter say, oh, wow, I went the other direction.
Because I thought, I know it's way more than 27.
You know it's more than 27. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But then when they give us the answer, I too am like, I cannot do the math right now.
I did not do the math. I just was like, Biggie got it. I thought he had it.
I was like, wait, that, well, And I didn't know, and then they were like, one island. And
The producers must have been losing it in the control room when they realized that this was happening, because not only did they get a tie, but the tie is broken by one island.
They were jumping up and down. I mean, I was jumping. I was like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
This is so wild. And I think, even though, like, you see Biggie going back and back and back, but then when he started bringing Peter back, I was like, oh, okay. I think Biggie's getting the momentum, right?
Big comeback.
And then we go to a tie, and I'm like, Biggie's got this. And then it comes down to one island, and it's Peter?
Couldn't believe it. I even think Rick thought, when the numbers were read off, initially, that Biggie had it.
Yeah.
I think Rick was shocked
His face
that Peter
was
won.
like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's like, oh, Peter, you blew it. Imagine if Biggie hadn't gotten cute and he just said 200.
Right? What if he had just rounded? 210, like what?
What if Peter had said 25 instead of 27?
What if he rounded as well? Yeah.
The fact that it was this is crazy.
Crazy.
Yeah.
And I am gutted for Biggie at this moment.
I was so sad for him.
Yeah.
Because he fought so hard. He played the strategy right in this game. His back was against the wall, and he got himself to a tiebreaker. And it would have been a huge moment if he had overcome the two of them working against him in this final challenge.
That would have been so fun. I mean, I think Biggie played a great game.
He did.
I kept saying he was the best socially positioned.
Yeah.
And I thought he was pretty smart at the game as well.
Yeah.
So he had blinders on with Rick, I think. Because had he not had blinders on with Rick, he probably wouldn't have gotten rid of Shane and Allie, or just Allie.
I think you're right.
And then that might have been a different story.
Yeah.
But here we are. No regrets.
Yeah.
Move forward.
Biggie gets a really nice exit interview, I thought. And he was a great character for season 1. So bummed to see him go, but now it's the Alliance having to turn on each other, and goggles on, whoop, whoop, whoop,
whoop,
and
whoop,
now
whoop.
we are on the London Eye.
I've been there.
Have you done that? I did not go on the Eye when I went.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, is it too high for you? But you can see all the way around.
Yeah,
it's
I
not
think
like
I was
fast
like,
or
I saw the Eye.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's beautiful, but I didn't go on it.
It's just a good vantage point.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're in the Eye. They're both really good. Rick and Peter both are very good. I mean, Biggie was too. But they're all very good at, like, giving the sound bites and giving the expressions.
Yeah.
Like, that's what they want. You're in the Eye, and they want you to go, oh, my God!
Look at this view!
Yeah. Even though, who knows, Peter's been there 14 times. I don't know.
Totally.
But so they're going to end up getting riddles.
Yeah.
And they're going to have to go out and about London town.
Yes, it's these riddles that are based on the cities that they've been to. It really is sort of what we predicted, where it's like a look back on the season and their journey throughout the course of season 1. So they both choose the Rome for Love riddle in the first, like, while they're in the London Eye, knowing that Destination X is one of the landmarks below.
Yeah. I was like, oh no, are they going to do all the same riddles? I do not want to see them go to the same places. Thank goodness
they didn't.
It was just that one.
Yeah, they just both went to the Bank of London first. I thought it was like, I mean, what luck that it was like raining. That probably made it like extra dramatic production-wise. They're like running through the rain, and they're in their black cabs.
Yeah.
But yeah, then they split off. Peter's supposed to go to the Shard, which he figures out pretty quickly. Rick is not really getting the Cupid of it all with the Piccadilly Circus, the carnival matching the circus, but eventually they'd have like images on their maps in addition to the names of the locations.
Yeah.
So he ultimately sees the like, you know, cherub with the bow and arrow and realizes Piccadilly Circus is where he needs to go. I think they did a decent job of like editing this together so it felt like tension, but like they had 4 hours to get 3 clues.
No, they said 4 hours. I was like, what? That feels like a long
they
time.
ultimately all get, each of them gets the 3 clues within the allotted time.
Yeah. How many of these did you know?
I don't know. The Sherlock Holmes one I knew was Sherlock Holmes, but like I might have really had to think about Baker Street. I would have had to study those landmarks to think like, oh, right, Sherlock Holmes lives on Baker Street. Yeah. So that one probably would have taken me a minute. I think Piccadilly Circus I also would have had to get from the illustration of the image with the like bow and arrow. Tower Bridge I wouldn't have gotten, I don't think. And Peter struggled with that too. Bridge being a card game.
Yeah, I got them for different reasons, but I got them all. This was going to be the
London
easiest.
expert over
this
here.
This is the easiest game for me. I mean, when you say 2 columns, I just think about a bridge. That was in the clue. So I didn't think about the bridge game.
Yeah.
I just thought 2 columns.
Oh, interesting.
When they said carnival, I immediately think Piccadilly Circus because it's called Circus and Carnival. I didn't even know about the Cupid guy on top of the statue until they
like
zeroed in on that.
Or something like that.
Yeah, so I was getting them just off of like wordplay, I guess.
Yeah.
But let's get to the final clue.
Well, here's what I did know. I knew that the Final Destination X was Big Ben before any of the clues.
Okay. Because you picked up on all the time?
No, just because we've had conversations about like they're gonna pick iconic places for things, and so I'm like, huh.
Wait, you don't think Tower of London is iconic?
Not more than Big Ben.
Really?
No. I think you're a little colored by your like extensive London knowledge here, and like that maybe is like more historically significant. But I think to like an American layperson, the average viewer,
Big Ben's the biggest?
Big Ben is the biggest.
What about Buckingham Palace? That was on there?
Wow. Big Ben, it's that iconic image of the clock.
Yeah, yeah.
So I said this is definitely where they're going to end up.
Iconic image of the clock. So I'm sorry, when you give me clues, I mean, Queen Elizabeth, that could be any
that
landmark.
that was a deep cut of trivia about Big Ben that it's called the Elizabethan Tower.
I'm sorry, but I can put Queen Elizabeth on half of those landmarks at least.
Which is why they chose it. Yes.
But the second one I see is a sand timer.
Hourglass.
That is a timer. That is a time device. What of all of these things has a timepiece included?
And they put the $100 bill, and I said Ben Franklin.
Now, see, that one took me a second.
Oh, did it?
I just, with the timepiece, I went Big Ben.
Yeah.
And then Rick's like, Benjamin Franklin. And I was like, oh, yes, Benjamin Franklin. I don't carry a lot of $100 bills. I don't know that that's Benjamin Franklin.
It's all about the Benjamins, you know, the slang.
True. Yeah. But I was like, let's go. Big Ben, let's go. It is.
So I actually was shocked. Well, no, I wasn't. Personally, I was like, I wouldn't have even opened the clues. I would have just said Destination X Big Ben. But I think because I had that in my mind, I would have opened the clues and it would have confirmed what I thought with Hourglass, whatever.
Yeah.
I was a little surprised, but also kind of not, that Peter didn't figure it out.
Well, but I could understand where his thinking was, and he actually reveals in our exit interview together that there was a 4th clue image that they gave them. They didn't show us for some reason, which was European coins. Pounds or whatever they are. So it wasn't just
so they did have a red
Benjamin Franklin $100 bill. There was also European money. So he was just thinking valuables in general.
Because he was like crown jewels, Queen Elizabeth, money. The crown jewels are stored at the Tower of London. And
again, I think the Tower of London is a massive, iconic
And maybe
place.
hourglass. Hour rhymes with tower. I don't know.
I mean, he explains his thought. He also had a backup thought that it was Buckingham Palace. He explained all of that. Go check that out.
Yeah.
But in the moment when I was watching the episode, I was like, I can't hate you on Tower of London. Like, it's not correct. The timer really gives it away.
Yes, it does.
But if you are talking about valuables and the crown, the royals, that is the Tower of London. So not that far off.
Right.
At least
So
he didn't go to
they
the shard.
send them both to their locations, whoop, 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 with their goggles on. And they both have a briefcase.
Did they have their goggles on for that? They knew
I think
they
so.
picked their locations.
Because remember when Rick, like, his goggles open and he's like, am I inside Big Ben?
Oh,
Remember
that's
that
right.
moment?
Yeah.
So I think, yes,
They
you're
just
right. They
didn't want
picked
you
their
to
locations,
see-
but maybe didn't want you to see, like, where you ended up.
Yeah.
Because it was cool as hell to be inside of Big Ben.
Very cool.
That's awesome.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
No one gets up in that.
Yes. And
Yeah.
I think Big Ben was just renovated within the past handful of years, too.
Uh-huh. It has
So,
been.
at any rate, that was a really cool reveal. He's inside and discovers that he has won all by himself.
Yeah. He opens that case. It's full of money. JDM comes out.
Yeah.
And, like, wow, that's really impressive. They did
Yeah.
a great job on this finale.
They did.
And I was wondering, I was like, what happened if they had both thought of the same place?
Yes.
It would have just been who got there first. Like, you were racing to do this. So even if you both had picked Big Ben or whatever, whoever got up there first was going to get it.
Interesting. Okay.
Which maybe is why they had goggles on in case there was another person there or something.
Okay. I'll buy it.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, Peter's emotional. He's really bummed. He sort of had some sound bites throughout the finale about, like, maybe this is my moment. I haven't won any show that I've done yet.
I kept thinking he was getting a winner's edit.
Yeah. And then, you know, there's a celebration. Rick gets to call his wife. She was kind of low energy.
What is that? What is that from? What show calls Great British Bake Off?
Yeah. It's literally like he called to be like, I won Star Baker.
They're in London.
That's her energy.
They're in London.
And she's like, no way.
I know. She was like, wait, what? I haven't talked to you in a month.
Yeah.
And you just called me and said this.
Like,
she was like, hi?
Winning $250,000 is different from winning Star Baker. But
it was very fun.
Very cool moment for Rick. I think well deserved. He really played well and was like so studied. Like, to me,
so knowledgeable.
When Peter's weakness was exposed, I thought, in that game with the three of them, where he didn't know the miscellaneous facts about Europe.
Yeah.
Where it was like, I was so impressed with him all along of like knowing the capital of Slovenia and like all of these, he clearly studied like countries, capitals, flags, like all of those kinds of things that the producers probably were like, these are the things you might want to look at. He clearly looked at all of that.
Yeah.
But Rick has a deeper bench of knowledge
It seemed like it.
about Europe more broadly.
Yeah.
So I think Rick really was a deserving winner of the first season.
Absolutely. And if you guys remember the very first episode, Josh leaves and says, Rick's a snake. And then there were like 3 or 4 episodes where no one would even talk to Rick. And Rick was like, you want to be my friend? And they were like, no.
Such a good arc.
So, yeah, super knowledgeable, weaseled his way back into a game, got himself some shields in front of him, and was loyal all the way to the end with Peter.
Yes.
So, I don't know.
You really can't fault his game.
No, not at all.
He told just as many lies as he had to, but was, like you said, loyal to the people that he was loyal to.
Tell all the lies! Oh my gosh!
But it wasn't like he was messy about it.
Right, true.
He didn't lie to Peter and Janae. He was loyal to them. Yeah. You know, so like that, he can sort of stand by like, this was my real alliance, and I had to lie to you, Biggie, in order to not get eliminated. But I didn't have to lie to everybody, and I didn't lie to Peter or Janae. I was loyal to them. So I thought he just really sort of played a textbook game and like is a great winner. Then JDM is like, and if you've been paying attention, I dropped clues all along about the clock. And I'm like, okay, feels like a bit of a stretch. Like,
they were look at all the times we had.
Look at all of these
involved.
clocks. Remember this clock on this castle in Paris? No, I do not. Remember that.
Gosh. I was like, well,
but I did
good
like
on you for finding all the clocks.
And I did like the moments where he's saying something like tick tock, the time, blah blah blah. Like that's stuff true. I actually believe.
Yeah.
Random clocks on the side of a castle. I'm like, no one's gonna pay attention to that. But
I'm like,
I would be paying attention.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
They're literally everywhere.
Oh, he's like the cuckoo clock in Switzerland, of course.
I'm like, it's a cuckoo clock. You were talking about Switzerland.
And I'm supposed to go to Big Ben
from
that?
Next season they're gonna be like, well, I went to this location because you guys kept showing me.
Well, that's the thing. People are gonna watch this show. If it gets a season 2, people like us will have watched and will apply, and they will know how to play it. And so the producers are gonna have to be. They're gonna have to twist the game slightly because people are gonna be anticipating these things. I do think the Big Ben thing was so much of a stretch that I don't think anybody could really connect it, but people are going to be paying more attention now that they've seen what the producers have already done.
I mean, it's not it's reasonable to think, boy, if I really look back, I felt like there was a clock.
There were a lot of clocks.
It was like a through line of clocks.
Yeah, the Salvador Dali clocks, the cuckoo clock.
That's reasonable to expect. So next person who gets to the finale can be like, I really felt like there was a theme of rivers or whatever.
But it's I don't think that is going to override the clues that are in front of you for
I'm
the
sorry,
final
there was a sand timer.
X.
Done, period. You needed no other clue than the sand timer.
There's Thank you.
Nothing else
Thank you.
that fits.
Yeah.
It's the sand timer.
Yes.
The other stuff was extra.
Yeah.
Go to the clock.
The biggest clock you can see.
That is in movies.
Go to that one.
That clock? Do it. Yeah. I enjoyed talking to all 3 of these contestants. Please go check out their exit interviews. I obviously questioned Biggie about why he was shocked about Rick. I obviously questioned Rick about it as well, and their answers are very interesting. How they connect or don't connect.
Okay.
Also, I was shocked to find out that Peter and Janae showed up for the show not knowing they were weeks late. They entered the game thinking everyone was entering the game.
How is that possible?
They got on that bus and were like, oh, wait, what?
They literally showed up at the end of an episode, and people were in the middle of playing. Did they think that was episode 1?
It sounds like it. Well, because they showed up originally in the challenge.
Yeah, at the end of the challenge.
So
people were clearly winning something at the end of the challenge.
They thought that was episode 1. That they had all this was the first
challenge.
Yeah.
I wonder how they pulled that off.
Yeah, I don't know, but I was like, that's rude.
Yeah.
You need to give them a heads up that they're
not. But how quickly
did
he say how quickly they realized that
He said once he got on the bus and realized
they started talking,
that people have been talking about weeks of the game, that he was like, oh.
I would have sat in that diary room explain yourself, producer.
Explain yourself. Excuse me? This is not what I said.
What all have I missed here?
Yeah. I'm sure he did. I'm sure he was like, back it up.
Yeah. Honestly, he probably got that clue about deep in the well and the coins and the this and then that and Romeo and Juliet, and he's like, what are you talking about? I wasn't there for that.
Well, I know. I was about to be like, wait, are they about to ask a question that he wasn't even there for? But then, of course, Romeo and Juliet, you don't have to be there for. I thought that I was pretty shocked by that. But I had fun talking to them, so please check those out.
Yes.
And I had fun covering this season.
Yeah. I think it was a fun show. I thought it was... Sometimes I thought the clues were too easy. Sometimes I thought they were way too wildly hard. I will never get over Monaco being a scramble of There's No Place Like Home. That is just deranged. But it's a fun show. I think it's totally works.
They're figuring out the format still.
Yeah, they're figuring out the format.
I mean, they jumped the format completely the last few episodes.
Yeah.
So...
Totally makes sense to me to jump the format
up
for the finale.
Yes.
But the Venice episode was sort of this one-off bottle episode kind of thing that didn't make a whole lot of sense.
Yeah.
I felt like they were ran out of budget or something. We have to stay in Venice.
Okay. They're like, if we're gonna send a bus through the channel, we're gonna stay in Venice. Okay. Yeah, no, I think they were feeling stuff out. It was too easy, and then they were like, oh shoot, it's too easy, and then they went too hard.
Yeah.
I think it was, not even.
Yeah.
But if it comes back for a season 2, they'll probably, figure that stuff out.
Yep.
But absolutely, really enjoyed the last few episodes for sure.
Yep.
Those were a lot of fun.
And fun to get the exit press for this.
Yes, absolutely. Getting to chat with them. Never in my life would I think I was going to talk to Peter Weber.
Well, here we are.
Do you remember covering that season?
Of Bachelor?
Yes, we covered Peter's season.
When he was in the windmill with Hannah Brown?
Oh, wait, we didn't cover that one. That's when he was she was the Bachelorette, right? He was the Bachelor with Madison.
He was the Bachelor the next season.
With the young girl.
Remember his mom?
Yes, I do. I haven't watched. I watched like a handful of Bachelor seasons.
They should do like a Bachelor heroes versus villains, and Peter's mom should be a villain.
Love it. Love it. But here we are.
Yes.
10 years of Nerdtainment. What are you going to do?
Yes.
All right, you guys. So we got a little bit of break because Survivor and Amazing Race don't come back till mid-September-ish. We're also going to, or I don't know, but Survivor Australia versus the World.
Now, that premiered a lot later than I thought it was going to. I thought that was going to be a summer show, and that's like really going to butt into regular Survivor.
It is. So,
I don't know if I can commit to that.
Right. We don't know what our
Australian
commitment
Survivor is like 3 times a week,
Three times a week, hour-and-a-half episodes, 3 times a week. It's a lot.
Y'all, that's Big Brother level commitment.
But
that's Love Island level commitment.
I am going to be watching, and I am going to be talking in some way about it. There will be recaps. Things are going to happen.
Yep.
So keep an eye out for that.
Hit the bell.
Hit that notification because something's going to happen with that. And we've roped in Douglas.
Oh, yeah. I'm excited about this.
We've got some game night coming up.
So, yeah. We wanted to, like, bridge the gap in August between Destination X and Survivor. There still might be a few weeks where we have to figure something out, or maybe you're just going to be covering Australia versus the world. But in August, we are going to bring back many people's favorite Nerdtainment game night.
Game nights! So again, make sure you're subscribed to get those bell notifications. We are going to have some fun while we are not recapping. We technically can't watch Australia versus the world in U.S., but there is always a way.
There's always a way.
So we will find those ways.
Mm-hmm.
People are very nice and they post the episodes.
Yeah.
So unless you have a VPN, then you can watch it. But all that to say, thank you so much for joining us live tonight. We're not going anywhere, so stick around.
Yes, and thank you for joining us all season long, frankly, for Destination X. And if you've made it this far and you are watching this video later on after the live, leave us a comment and tell us how you feel about Rick being the winner, Biggie getting eliminated at the final 3, and what were your sort of overall thoughts of this season? What would you change for a season 2? Curious what you think.
And Rick checked in on Nerdtainment. He watched
He
our
did.
videos.
He watched us. He commented on at least one.
He was very nice and friendly with us.
That should have been our first clue that he was the winner.
Oh, I know, right?
Generally, the people who do well are the most engaged online.
It's true.
They haven't closed that little spoiler hole.
Yeah, they don't know how to hide that.
They don't know how to wrangle those people in that way. Yeah.
It's telling.
Although, if you remember, I think Lewis and Michelle on that one season of Amazing Race, they were so active.
We thought they were winning.
And we were like, they are going to win.
Yeah, we did.
But they got third. Or something like that. Anyway.
Second? Third?
Second, third, something like that.
They did not win.
Yeah.
But we love them.
I digress.
Alrighty. That's it. We'll see you next time.
See you then. Bye.